Daredevil Born Again is starting to film soon, and we're getting a ton of new news about the show, so I'm going to recap everything that you might have missed about the upcoming Daredevil Born Again series. Firstly, let's go over all the confirmed cast, because obviously we know Charlie Cox is back as Matt Murdock, but who else is going to be in this show? So firstly, we know that Vincent D'Onofrio is going to be returning as Wilson Fisk, as we saw him in Hawkeye. Obviously, that was more of a teaser for him eventually being in this show as the main villain, presumably. And the biggest news that we just recently got is that Jon Bernthal will be returning as Frank Castle, aka the Punisher, in this show, reprising his role. Now, you might be wondering, are Karen and Foggy going to be returning from the original series because they were such staples of that show? And so far we have no confirmation of them coming back into this show, and since we've gotten so many other cast members confirmed, it seems likely that they're not going to be in this show. I mean, there's plenty of reasons why this could be the case. Firstly is because the show is shooting over a 10-month period, so it is possible that the actors just had prior engagements and the showrunners just didn't want to recast these characters because they knew how much of a staple they were in the original series and just felt like that would be wrong. And this is going to be a soft reboot, so who knows where we're going to see Daredevil in his life in this show, and there's going to be a whole bunch of new characters. So while these characters will be missed, I'm sure they're going to fill the gaps with some other new great characters. Now we're heading into more rumor territory, but a lot of people are suspecting that either Jennifer Walters, aka She-Hulk, or Echo are going to show up in this show just to kind of tease Daredevil's connection in the She-Hulk show or Echo's upcoming show. Plus, we know Kingpin and Echo kind of have a history from the Hawkeye series already, so I'm sure they're going to want to tie these shows in a little bit more together. As for the plot, I'm sure we're going to get a clear picture as more MCU projects come out, because as we know, this show is going to be connected to the greater MCU. We've already seen that with Hawkeye having Kingpin in it and Echo and all these other characters, so we know it's going to be connected, just not sure how much it's going to be connected. A lot of people are hoping this is going to be more like Moon Knight, where it is obviously in the same universe, but it's kind of on its own thing. The show isn't directly connected to anything. Maybe there's a reference here or there, but it kind of lives in its own universe, which I do think is likely. It seems like they're going for a more traditional TV format with this show. As in case you didn't know, the show is going to have 18 episodes, which is way longer than any of the MCU's kind of limited series that they've been putting out before. So that does give me hope that this is going to be more like the original series rather than an MCU series. A lot of people have been theorizing that the MCU is going to kind of split up into street level stories and then the quantum realm and more galaxy level stories. And obviously Daredevil would fall under the street level story, which then opens the window for connections to Spider-Man, as Tom Holland's Spider-Man is obviously the most probable character to lead the street level Avengers. Plus, with Daredevil starting to premiere in the spring of 2024 and Spider-Man 4 is rumored to come out in the summer of 2024, the timelines would kind of line up for a cameo, but I don't want to get too excited about that because the same thing happened with Hawkeye, and obviously we know there was no Spider-Man to be seen. And make sure to hit that like button and comment down below one thing you want to see in the Daredevil Born Again series.